Two dead girls. Two dead girls. Dead girls. Dead girls. Hey everybody, I'm Lisa.
I'm Jessica.
And we are
Two Dead Girls.
Two Dead Girls. So we're just going to tell you guys right off the bat that if you haven't seen last night's episode of The Walking Dead titled Consumed, we're gonna talk about a lot of spoilers right now. We're going to talk about the whole episode, and you don't want to watch this, so turn it off. Bye.
Come back after you've watched the episode. Bye.
Come back later. Okay. Very good episode.
What did you think?
Very good episode.
I'm happy. Yeah, I was happy with last night's episode. I was really happy with last night's episode.
I was happy until about, I think somebody commented on our last week video, and I looked at it right as I was about to start watching The Walking Dead, and somebody said, 8:53, I can't stand it. And I told Bill, I said, something happens at 8:53. And it did.
Yeah, it did.
I couldn't stand it either.
God.
So,
and someone also commented last week about how I guess a few people kind of got the impression that we were kind of tearing last week's episode apart because it wasn't our favorite characters. That's not what we do. We had our issues last season with Beth. Everybody thought that we were like anti-Beth. We're anti-nobody. It's just that, I think that we kind of explained it in an episode previously. When everybody is split up, you kind of have, your heart's torn in like a million different places, and where, what storyline is interesting you most. And you said it last week. After watching last week's episode, you now know where you're most interested in seeing.
Right. Right.
Cast. So,
and it's like, and it's not only
everybody.
We're not tearing apart. We're just having a little fun with it too. Like, I mean, I feel like, we could pretty much, this is our forum to say however we feel, and if it's funny, it's funny. So
yes, it is.
Yeah, we like everybody. We don't want anybody to die, but it has to happen, so
unfortunately it does.
So last night, woohoo!
Well, there were definitely a lot of flashbacks. And usually I don't like flashbacks, but I was kind of hoping for more flashbacks. Like I wanted to see more of what happened to Carol when she was on her own.
Yeah.
And they were kind of flashing back to things that we already saw, like her, burying the girls, her driving off in the car. I was really kind of hoping to see, what happened when she drove off? How, I mean, we did that one scene when she was yelling at the walkers to go away.
And she was living in a law firm.
Yes, she was living in a law firm.
What was she doing out the window the day that she looked out the window and saw the prison on fire? What was she doing? She was hanging hangers with plastic out the window. What was she doing?
I think she was trying to catch rainwater.
Okay.
I think that she was trying to catch rainwater. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I didn't get that, but so she was pretty close to the prison the whole time.
She didn't go very far. No, she didn't.
And then it goes back to her and Daryl talking about Beth.
Yep.
And wouldn't you know, the gas tank is almost empty. All these vehicles, man. None of these vehicles are dependable.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I also like how she kind of said, we end this now, like as they're driving alongside of him. I felt like, I don't know, like the personalities were really, really switched. Like Daryl used to be the one that kind of like didn't think about things. And
yeah.
I mean, he still at times doesn't think about things. Like towards the end of the episode, he was ready to run out into the street and go get Carol, but Noah held him back.
Right.
But I really felt Carol was very like, oh, well, we can end this now. Let's just run him off the road.
Right.
Then Daryl's like, yeah, but then where would we be?
Right.
If we can't follow them, we can follow them and get more information out of them that way. I kind of felt like, a little bit of a role reversal.
Absolutely. It was a complete role reversal. Yeah, that was interesting. Oh, they're in the car. They see the cop get out of the car. I don't know exactly what they were doing, but then the car doesn't start again.
Well, the thing, what I found funny, and here's you and me were talking about it a little before. I'm like, let's wait till we start recording for this. I said to my husband, I know it's dark, but how do you not see somebody following you? They really weren't that far away from them.
Right.
I'm thinking the moonlight shining on the cars got to catch something in the rearview mirror. The sound of their brakes when they pulled into the town.
Right.
Now, there's a walker banging on the car.
Wouldn't you go check that out? Isn't that something you'd be like?
Check that out.
Yeah.
I would go and check that out, but then I have the feeling that maybe they were purposing to lure them. I don't know, like, because they want more people in Grady.
Right.
So I think they knew. I think these people are kind of smart. I kind of think that they know what they're doing. Maybe they're luring people.
Yep. So
I mean, he came down the street.
right.
The car wasn't there before. Turns around, he moves the bicycles, and now there's a walker banging on the window of a car that wasn't there 2 minutes ago.
Right.
So I don't think he's that stupid.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think about that, but yeah, you're right.
You know.
So Daryl says we need to go somewhere, and Carol says, I know a place.
Yeah. Takes it to the shelter, right?
Yep.
She hid out there when things got really bad with Ed.
And she says to him, I'll take the top bunk.
I said to myself, why? Both take the top bunk. When are they going to kiss?
I know a lot of people get upset about this whole Carol and Daryl thing, but I really just think that at this point, I didn't see any tension between them last night, like sexual tension, but there used to be when they were at the prison.
There were there was sexual tension. This episode, I kind of felt there were tender moments.
Yes, there was tender moments, yes. But, so they hear a noise and they see what appears to be a child and a mom.
Oh, yeah. I knew from the preview last week that it was too small to be Beth. Everybody's like, oh my God, Beth's dead. They're throwing her on the fire. I'm like, no, that was a little person.
Yeah, that was a little person, and it was sad. That was an awe moment for me.
Yeah. And Carol was ready to go and put them out of their misery.
Yep.
No, again, he's like, no, we're not gonna.
You don't have to do that.
You don't have to do that. Yeah, I like how when she was just before that happened, when she was laying down in bed, Daryl asked her, he's like, if I didn't come that night and find you by the car, would you have gone? She's like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know if I would have gone. I still don't get that. I know that Rick was an asshole to her. Mm-hmm. Here you go. Not even talking to the council or whatever. But now that she's back, and now that she's like she's vindicated for killing Tyrese's girlfriend, and she Rick's forgiven her for everything.
Yep.
Why are you so eager to split? Why do you want to split so bad?
I don't know.
I don't understand that part of it.
I don't know. But Carol says to Daryl, what is she says, I don't think we get to save people anymore. So Carol wakes up the next morning and sees smoke and follows it outside to where we now see that it's not Beth, obviously, that Daryl's putting in the fire.
Mm-hmm. And the one thing that I said is, as that smoke is rising, it's rising high and it's rising above this building. And I said to myself, the people at Grady are going to see this.
Right.
The people at Grady are going to see. Now, again, I backtrack and think that they knew they were there as they were coming up to that place because of the cop car.
Right.
But now they definitely know someone's there because now there's a fire in the middle of the city. Not a very big fire, but still, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Okay, so they leave this, they decide to leave the shelter. So, okay, so they leave the shelter and they're outside and Daryl sees the bridge going across. And he says, we can get up there. He wanted to get into the parking garage. So Daryl takes a pad of paper, sets it on fire, and throws it in front of the herd of walkers that are in the street that's in their way.
Yep, diverts them. They run over to that.
And then they see the camping walkers.
Yes.
And I thought it was funny. I was like, they're in sleeping bags. They can't get out. Like, that was creative.
Keep me up so tight.
That was creative. Or the one inside the tent and you just see his, you just kind of see his outline through the tent. I was like, this is so creative. I love it.
Jimmy can't punch his way out of a paper bag.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like to me. And it was funny because on Talking Dead, the girl that we really like, Yvette Nicole Brown, that's the girl that I'm always saying, like when she's on, I'm so excited because she obviously watches the show. She was not understanding how they got there. She thought that they were overcome by, by toxins and what it is. They looked like they were not touched too much. I think that those were people just hiding out.
Yeah.
And someone came and killed them.
Yep.
All those people in the sleeping bags.
So then they get up into an office building and they get some water and Daryl makes that comment about what?
The painting.
The painting.
It's like a dog took his ass and smeared it across the hole.
And Carol's like, hey, I like that.
I like that. You would like that painting.
So and then they're by the window and Daryl asks for the rifle because he sees something and he sees that van.
Yep.
He sees the crosses on it and he says that's a lead.
Mm-hmm. We gotta get over there.
So Carol says but while they're standing there, Carol says to Daryl, you still haven't asked me what happened.
Yeah. And he doesn't need to know.
He doesn't really care, yeah. It's like it doesn't really matter.
No. It's kind of like what Carl said a few episodes ago. We've all done something.
Right.
We've all done things. Daryl doesn't need to know.
Yep. So they get some water and they start heading out the way they came.
To that door that was all chained. And I remember when he was coming through, I said, oh, there's going to be somebody on the other side.
I'm going to say, one of them's not going to make it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I let my guard down when Carol went through for the first time. I said, all right, well, it's good. There's nobody there. But sure enough.
She goes, Daryl, no.
And it's
Noah. And this guy pissed me off in the beginning. Basically robs them of their weapons and tries to kill them because he opens the tent that the walkers are in and runs.
You guys look tough. You could make it. I was just like, what a jerk. I couldn't believe that he did that. I understand why he did it.
Yep.
I understand why he did it. But don't underestimate Daryl M.F. Dixon.
Well, I don't think he will now.
No.
But did you have a reaction to Noah robbing them?
I did.
So did I. I think I was pissed. I was like, no way. But I think we're going to enter our reactions for Noah robbing them right here so you guys could see that.
Gimme, 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 gimme.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That makes me mad that Noah robbed them.
You look tough. You'll be alright.
What an asshole.
So at this point, what are their weapons? Daryl has a knife.
Carol has a gun that one of the bullets got wasted because Daryl hit her hand away.
That's right.
She said she just wanted to shoot him in the leg.
Nah.
She's like, did you think I was going to kill him?
Yeah.
Did you think I was going to kill him? And then she went into this whole, like, if I'm going to hell, I'm going to do my best to keep me out of there for as long as possible. And again, it's just like, she's so different.
Yep.
And Daryl's like, but he's just a kid. He is just a kid.
Yep.
Season 1 Daryl would not have said he's just a kid.
Exactly.
Like, it's so neat watching how everybody is evolving and how different they are from the first season.
I agree.
Well, the ones that are still here.
No, I agree. So they approach this van, and you could see the walkers like down the road, but they didn't seem as close as they suddenly crept up on them.
Yeah, they came up quick, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. But Daryl gets in the van and he sees the gurney and he sees that it's for a hospital.
Right. It says GM, and Carol knows right away, of course, because she was in that area before in the shelter. She goes, oh, that must be Grady Memorial.
Yep.
And the van is teetering.
They get overrun with the walkers and end up in the van, which I was like, no, my God, why? Why couldn't they just run past? You know what I mean? Like, whew.
They're both in the front, and she keeps saying like they're coming, and they both get in the front seat. I'm like, this is so dumb. That was such a bad decision.
They get in the front seat. They put their seatbelts on. She holds his hand.
Oh God!
And down they go.
Oh my God! How do you survive something like that?
I don't know, but I was laughing at the walkers as they fell on top of the van afterwards. I liked it on Talking Dead. They called it the wait for it walkers. But
I looked at my husband. I'm like, those are some pretty big hailstones because it sounded like a hail. It sounded like boom, 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 boom.
It was funny.
Oh God! But it was so fell down in slow motion. And then, like, the last couple of seconds were at regular speed, and then I said, wait for it, and then they started coming down.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was funny. So I'm wondering, what did Carol do to her shoulder? Did she break it? Did she dislocate it? I
definitely don't think that she dislocated it, because she was able to, like, put her hand up with that scene that's coming up with Noah. Yeah, Carol's shoulder. I'm wondering if she did something to her collarbone, or I definitely don't think it's dislocated, because she was able to, push Noah off of her in a scene that's coming up when he jumped on top of her.
Regardless, when you see that she's hurt, I was like, oh no, this is not good. So now they're in a building, and Daryl says to Carol, what does he say? He says, you said I was different before. What do you mean by that? Well, she says, you were a kid back then, and now you're a man.
Yeah.
I feel like the way that they were, I wrote this down, because I feel like the way that they were showing Carol with her flashbacks, her first flashback was of her burning the 2 bodies at the prison.
Yep.
And she said one of herself got burned away.
Yep.
And then her second self got burned away at Terminus. With that
Carol
fire.
said, we're not ashes.
Right. Right. So they're sitting in this office building. I don't know where they're at this point. I don't remember. But Daryl on the way in had grabbed that machete from the walker and slammed it into his head.
Oh,
that was my zombie kill of the week.
Mine too.
Was it? Ooh, there's a machete. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. Ugh. All right.
But they hear a noise and they go out, and it's Noah.
Yeah, poor Noah found his way back.
And what happens? Oh, Daryl runs behind him and makes the shelf fall on him. The bookshelf.
Yeah, the book. Yep, falls right on top of him, and there's a walker on the other side. Daryl's ready to leave them.
Yep.
He's like, I saved your ass once. I'm not doing it again.
He's got his crossbow back. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they knew, that's right. As they were walking up, Carol goes, is that yours? Do you remember? And they found the crossbow. Is that yours? So they kind of,
Of course it was.
Following the trail of their own belongings to Noah.
Yep. And so now this bookcase is laying on top of Noah, and there's a walker coming through the door, trying to get through almost.
Yep.
Daryl's walking away, and Carol's like, we have to save him.
Like, no, I don't.
Mm-mm. He lights a cigarette. He lights his cigarette, and he starts walking away.
Yep.
And just as the walker, what did the Talking Dead call that walker? Noah looks tasty walker. I thought it was so funny. Just as the walker's about to get him, Daryl shot him with a bow.
Yep.
So
Noah's leg is pretty bad at this point. Once they get the bookshelf.
And he runs over to the window to get away from those two. And he's like, I have to get out of here. They're going to come for me. They're coming for me. Yeah.
And then he makes the confession that he's, who are you running from? He's running from the people at Grady Memorial Hospital. And somehow, I forgot how the script went, but he confesses that he knows Beth.
Well, Daryl says the hospital. He says, "Do you know a blonde girl? Is there a blonde girl there?" And he said, "Beth, you know her?"
Yeah.
And right there, when Noah sees that Daryl and Carol know Beth, I feel like he begins to trust them.
Yeah, these people are okay.
Right.
They're not gonna, because everybody's always just wanted to hurt him.
Right. So they start leaving the building because they see the car, the police car downstairs. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all running. Noah's hobbling because his leg is messed up. And what happens?
They're running, and it looks like they're gonna make a pretty clean getaway. Carol's leading the charge, isn't she?
Yep. And I don't even want to talk about what happened next.
Ah!
It was a sad night. It was a sad day.
That was terrible.
Yep. So Carol runs out in the street, and Chris Hardwick from Talking Dead says, "What did we learn tonight? We learned that in a zombie apocalypse, you still have to look both ways when you're crossing the street."
You gotta look both ways.
Oh, Carol.
Always hold your hand when you're crossing the street. Yep, Carol gets hit.
So my
hard.
prediction last week of changing my mind and saying that Carol is hurt was right.
You are right.
She is messed up. Right. She's messed up, and now I'm really upset.
She suffers a fall from a bridge, and she gets hit by a car.
Yep.
I'm telling you, these zombie apocalyptic people, they're pretty tough cookies, because I twist my ankle coming down the steps and I'm incapacitated for a week.
Yep.
This chick falls off the bridge and gets hit by a car. Dude gets his leg amputated. Everybody's fine as rain.
I know. So then they come back from the commercial, and they're in the hospital, and they're talking about, now they're in present almost, because they didn't show Daryl in the bushes, just saw what happened.
Yeah.
But the police officer's telling Dawn that the lady in the new room is not getting any better, and that she's wasting electricity.
Yeah, Beth is overhearing this conversation. And I'm wondering why, because, the other officer that was the pervert, right? I was under the impression, and I guess I was wrong, and I'm sorry, all male officers in Grady Memorial, maybe not every male officer wants women for just one thing, because then why wouldn't they want to keep Carol around?
Right.
he basically said that she's wasting electricity.
Yep.
She's wasting resources, and Beth is like, wait a minute, you're watching DVDs.
I think that if Beth would not have intervened, I think that Dawn would have probably said to leave her alone and let her, give her a day. But because Beth had to stick her 2 cents in,
right?
Ugh.
Yeah, but why couldn't Dawn have stood up for her? Because then she turns to Beth and she's like, "You just killed that woman."
Yep.
What the hell?
Because Dawn cannot show that police officer that she's listening to Beth. I think she's running out of. I mean, I don't know how much respect these police officers have for Dawn at this point, but I think that she wants them to think that she's listening to them still.
Yeah, she's got to maintain some type of authority,
right?
And it won't be coming from Beth,
right? So that was really sad. So now there's 2 freaking episodes left.
I can't even believe it. Oh, I hate this time of year.
And it looks like in the preview for next week they're going to show Daryl going back, telling the group what's happening. And it shows a little bit about Beth and Carol too. So,
yep, we see Gabriel again.
Yep.
Gabriel again. We're going to see Carl again.
I don't know anything about what's going to happen. I don't read spoilers. I don't know the comic book. All I know is I could tell you just from seeing what they're showing us right now, the mid-season finale is going to be a cliffhanger that's going to suck to wait for. It's going to suck.
It is.
Part of me is kind of thinking that the mid-season finale is going to end, like once they get into the hospital or once something happens in the hospital, once they get there, or, oh my God, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Oh, we should say that we have a reaction to Carol getting hit.
Yes. That was both of our. It was kind of a WTF moment for us, but it needs its own title. So it's Carol. Carol's hit and run, I guess. I don't know. What do you want to call it?
Yeah, we'll figure out some fun little thing to put in there.
But here it is. Oh no! No! Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Carol is fucked up. Oh my God. Oh my God.
She just went for a roll.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Wow.
And then she can't get their help. Is that what you want?
Oh no.
We can get her back. We can get her back.
And then I do have to say that I read an article on Yahoo. It's not a spoiler, but Greg Nicotero directed episode 9, which is the episode when we come back from the mid-season finale. And he said in this article that people are going to be very upset with episode 9 because it's going to be, but he also said it's going to be one of the most exciting, better than the first episode, which he also directed. So I'm very excited to see.
People are going to be upset.
People are going to be upset. I think he said people are going to riot or something like that. I don't know. I think somebody's going to die. Somebody important's going to die. So.
Oh no.
But I'm super excited. I'm excited to see what he's got in store for us because when Greg Nicotero does an episode, it's usually awesome.
Oh my God. Every time I hear Riot, I just automatically associate it with Daryl.
Oh,
Daryl dies with Riot.
I don't think Daryl's going to die. But I think it's going to be somebody from our group. So we'll see.
Oh, God.
We have 2 episodes left, and we will see what happens, huh?
I'm excited. I'm excited for next week. I can't believe, like, it goes so fast.
It does.
It just goes too fast.
So, who was on Noah was on The Talking Dead this week, so that was interesting.
Noah was on The Talking Dead, CM Punk, and Yvette Nicole Brown. And I like her. She has a little, you know, I don't know if you guys can see this, but we have a notebook.
Yeah.
We keep our notes. And my notes this week were really, really bad. Me and Lisa were just saying off camera that, you know, we were both so, like, involved in the episode. There wasn't really a lot of... I wrote a lot last week because there wasn't as much action. Again, not slamming last week's episode.
Right.
But I was really, like, watching this week. So there weren't really a lot of notes.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm interested to see where they go with it next week. I thought it was interesting that they showed Daryl had taken the book, the childhood abuse book, so that tells a little bit of backstory for him. Yeah,
and Carol took Tom Sawyer, which I thought was sweet because she never got to finish reading it to Lizzie and Mika.
Right. That's the book, somebody on The Talking Dead said that that's the book that Herschel gave to Lizzie or something?
Oh, did somebody say that? Because I remember Nicole Brown was saying, she's like, I don't know why she took that book. It must have some kind of meaning to her. And I looked at my husband, I'm like, I remember them when they were walking up on the train tracks, going to the pecan farm. She said, what happened in Tom Sawyer? Because you never finished reading it to us. Yep. So I thought she had that book.
Yeah, that was nice. So where the hell is Morgan?
Where's Morgan? Since episode 1.
So we'll see.
Oh, God.
And, that's pretty much it, I think, for this episode. I'm excited to see what they have next week, and I really hope that Carol, if they pull the plug on her, or if they unplug the electricity, I hope that she pulls through. Obviously, in the preview, it shows her awake next week, talking to Beth, so hopefully she, she's a tough cookie.
Going to be so good. Are they going to take Dawn down first? Are they going to convert Dawn? Is she going to come out with them? Like, what is going to happen?
I'm interested to see if Rick knows Dawn. Like, if he sees her and then is like, don't shoot, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm real interested to see where they go with that. Or if they just don't know each other at all. But I don't know.
I don't know. I'm interested to see if Morgan is still crazy, like batshit crazy Morgan, or if he's Morgan from season 1.
Right.
Like the normal guy.
Right.
Last time we saw him before this season, he was like, basically rocking himself in the corner, talking to himself practically.
Right.
No, it's just, I don't know. Where's Morgan?
Yeah.
Are Maggie and Beth ever going to be reunited?
I don't think Maggie really cares.
She doesn't give a shit. I don't got to listen to that girl singing anymore. I'm with my husband now.
That was funny. Well, yeah, so that's all we have for this week, guys. Hopefully, leave your comments below. Let us know what you thought of the episode.
So a couple of you guys said you were interested in the subscriber spotlight, that it was something that was fun to that you enjoyed from the one that I did by myself. Next week, if you have a reaction video, set up your camera, tape yourself watching the show. Maybe we will feature one of your reactions over here on Two Dead Girls.
Yes.
So what you'll need to do is after you watch the show, sometime after you watch the show, you can email it to us at twodeadgirls@gmail.com. All that stuff is down below. Send us a quick clip of you reacting to something. Just be sure to let us know what it is that you're reacting to, and we'll be sure to include you in the subscriber spotlight.
Yes. And until next week,
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Lisa.
And we are
Two Dead Girls.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Two dead girls. Two dead girls. Two dead girls.